Hi there, class. I am going to work a few examples from section 2.2, Simplifying Expressions. Okay, the first example says use the distributive property to expand the expression. It's kind of an interesting way to say the instructions. You're basically just using the distributive property to multiply the outside term to the two inside terms. The expand the expressions could sound a little tricky, especially after we spent some time in the last unit expanding exponential expressions. But let me just show you what a problem like this means. It just means to take this outside -9 and multiply it to both terms of the binomial inside the parentheses. And so we're going to do two separate multiplications. -9 times 2x is -18x, and then -9 times -y is a positive 9y, and that's your final answer. This example says simplify the expression by combining like terms. So like terms are terms that have the same variable or terms that have no variables at all, like they're just a whole number. We're going to first start with the terms that have the variable r. There's a positive 9r and there's a -6r. When you combine those together, it's a total of 3r. Next, we're going to combine the positive 6 with the positive 7 to get a positive 13. So 13 and 3r are not like terms because 13 does not have the variable r. And so that's your final answer. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to collect like terms. There's some extra instructions here by removing symbols of grouping and collecting like terms. It just means you'll need to do the distributive property first and then collect like terms. The first thing I want you to do is multiply 8 times 2s and 8 times -1. That's 16s minus 8 plus s plus 6. Next, I want you to see that 16s and a positive s are like terms. Those can be combined to 17s, and -8 and positive 6 are like terms, which can be combined to -2. Can you hear my dogs barking? I can, and I'm sorry if you can too. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question. Simplify the expression by removing symbols of grouping and combining like terms. Similar to the last question, except this time there's two places that you'll need to work through the distributive property. First, we'll take this -5t and multiply it to this first parenthesis set. That will be -35t plus 5t squared, because -5t times -t is a positive 5t squared because there's two t's. Now we'll take this positive t and multiply it through. That would be t squared. We're just multiplying t times t, and so nothing changes with the coefficient. That's why it's just a t squared. And then t times 1 is plus t. Now that we've removed the symbols of grouping, which is a fancy way of saying removing the parentheses, let's collect like terms. I'm going to start with these t's that are squared, combine those together to get 6t squared, and then if we combine the -35t with the positive 1t, it's -34t, and that's your final answer. So that's all for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions about this homework assignment.